You know that feeling when the house is quiet, the world is still asleep, and suddenly there you are, wide awake at 3 a.m., staring at the ceiling. Maybe it happens once in a while, or maybe it's become a nightly ritual. Either way, you're not alone. So many of us over 60 find ourselves asking, asterisk, why does this keep happening? And what's it doing to my health? Asterisk, well, today, let's pull back the curtain on those mysterious nighttime wake-ups. This isn't just about getting older or bad sleep. There's real science and real solutions behind why your body might be hitting the pause button at 3 a.m., and I'm here to walk you through it, step by gentle step. First off, let's talk about what's not happening. This isn't your body playing tricks on you. It's not a sign that something's broken. In fact, waking up briefly during the night is perfectly normal, even for younger folks. The difference? As we age, our sleep cycles change. We spend less time in deep sleep, that heavy, dreamless stage, and more time in lighter phases. That means tiny disruptions, a creaky floorboard, a passing car, or even a full bladder, can nudge us awake more easily. But here's the kicker. If you're staying awake for hours, tossing and turning, that's your body waving a little flag, saying, asterisk, hey, let's figure this out together. Asterisk, one big piece of the puzzle, our internal clock, the circadian rhythm. Think of it like a conductor, orchestrating when we feel alert and when we feel drowsy. As we age, that rhythm can shift. Maybe you start feeling sleepy earlier in the evening, or you wake up before the sun rises. That's your body's natural melatonin production slowing down, nudging bedtime forward. But if you're dozing off at 8 p.m. and wide-eyed at 3 a.m., that's a clue. It's not a flaw, it's biology. And the good news? Small tweaks, like shifting bedtime by just 30 minutes or getting morning sunlight, can gently realign that rhythm without feeling like a chore. Now, let's talk about something many of us love, a good afternoon nap. Now, I'm not here to shame anyone for resting, but here's the thing. Napping too late in the day or for too long can confuse your internal clock. Imagine your body saying, asterisk, oh, we're recharging at 4 p.m.? Guess we don't need as much sleep tonight. Asterisk, if you're craving a nap, try keeping it short, 20 to 30 minutes, and before 2 p.m. That way, you still get the refresh without stealing from your nighttime rest. Then there's a sneaky role of stress, or what I call midnight mind chatter. You're cozy in bed, and suddenly your brain decides now is the perfect time to replay that awkward conversation from 1987 or worry about tomorrow's to-do list. Sound familiar? Stress hormones like cortisol love to peak in the early morning hours, especially if we're already feeling anxious. But here's what's fascinating. Cortisol isn't a villain. It's supposed to help us rise and shine, asterisk gently star. The trouble starts when stress keeps it revved up all night. That's where simple tools like deep breathing or a calming bedtime routine can work wonders. Not to fix your sleep, but to remind your body it's safe to rest. Let's not forget the evening cup of tea or coffee. Now, I know some of us can drink espresso at midnight and still snooze. But for many, caffeine lingers in the system longer than we realize. Even that 4 p.m. latte could be whispering to your brain at 3 a.m., asterisk, hey, remember me? Asterisk, try winding down caffeine after lunch and see if it softens those nighttime interruptions. And if you're thinking asterisk, but I only drink decaf, asterisk, check the label. Some decaf coffees still have a little kick, enough to stir a sensitive sleeper. Hydration is another double-edged sword. Yes, staying hydrated is important, but timing matters. If you're sipping water right before bed to avoid nighttime dry mouth, you might unintentionally set yourself up for a 3 a.m. bathroom trip. The solution isn't to stop drinking water. It's to shift your hydration earlier in the day. Try finishing your last big glass an hour or two before bed, and see if that tiny adjustment helps you sleep through. Now, let's chat about dinner. That hearty meal you enjoy at 7 p.m., it might be doing more than filling your stomach. Digesting a large or spicy meal late at night can keep your body working when it should be resting. Imagine your stomach saying, asterisk, hey, I'm busy here, asterisk, while your brain is trying to drift off. Try lighter meals in the evening. Think soups, steamed veggies, or a small portion of lean protein. And if you're a fan of midnight snacks, opt for something gentle like a banana or a handful of almonds, which won't wake up your digestion. Your sleep environment plays a bigger role than you might think. That flannel pajama set you love, if it's making you overheat, it could be pulling you out of deep sleep. Or maybe the streetlight outside your window is brighter than you realize. Simple fixes, like cooling your room to 65 to 68 degrees, using blackout curtains or switching to breathable bedding, can make a world of difference. And don't underestimate the power of a comfortable mattress. If yours is older than your grandkids, it might be time for an upgrade, or even a mattress topper for extra support. And finally, let's not forget medications. Many common prescriptions, like blood pressure drugs or certain antidepressants, can disrupt sleep patterns as a side effect. If you notice your 3 a.m. wake-up started around the same time as a new medication, it's worth a conversation with your doctor. Sometimes a dosage adjustment or taking the pill earlier in the day can make all the difference. But here's what I really want you to take away. Waking up at 3 a.m. isn't a life sentence. It's a conversation starter, a chance to listen to your body and make small, loving changes. Maybe it's adjusting your evening routine, or maybe it's simply learning to relax into those quiet moments instead of worrying about lost sleep. Because here's the truth. Rest isn't just about the hours you log. It's about how you nourish yourself day and night. So if you're ready to dig deeper, to explore how diet, movement, and even the way you breathe can transform those wakeful nights, let's keep this conversation going. Together, we'll uncover not just why this happens, but how you can reclaim your nights and wake up feeling truly refreshed. Now, let's talk about something many of us brush off as just part of aging, those aches and pains that seem to whisper or sometimes shout when we're trying to settle into bed. Maybe it's your knees protesting after a day in the garden, or your lower back staging a rebellion the moment you lie down. Physical discomfort isn't just a daytime nuisance. It can hijack your sleep, leaving you staring at the clock at 3 a.m. But here's the thing, you don't have to accept this as your new normal. Let's start by rethinking how you prepare your body for rest. Gentle stretching before bed, like a slow cat-cow pose or seated forward bends, can ease tension in your muscles and joints. Think of it as tucking your body in, the same way you'd fluff a pillow. And if pain keeps creeping in, consider a warm bath or heating pad on tender spots. It's like giving your body a hug, signaling it's safe to relax. But what if the discomfort isn't just physical? Let's address the elephant in the room, loneliness. Maybe the quiet of the night amplifies feelings of isolation, making it harder to drift back to sleep. If that resonates, know this, you're not alone in feeling alone. Connection, even small doses, can be a powerful sleep aid. A quick phone call to a friend during the day, joining a community class, or even chatting with a neighbor over the fence can fill your emotional cup, making those nighttime hours feel less vast. And if you're lying awake missing someone, try keeping a journal by your bed. Writing down a memory or a thought can feel like sharing the moment with them, softening the ache. Another hidden culprit, the way we breathe. As we age, shallow breathing becomes more common, especially if we're less active. But here's the secret. Deep, diaphragmatic breathing isn't just for yoga classes. It's a free, always available tool to calm your nervous system. Try this tonight. When you wake up at 3 a.m., place one hand on your chest and the other on your belly. Breathe in slowly through your nose, feeling your belly rise like a balloon. Then exhale through your mouth as if you're fogging a mirror. Just 5 rounds of this can lower your heart rate and quiet the mind. It's not about forcing sleep. It's about meeting your body where it is. Now, let's talk about a topic that might surprise you. Light exposure. Not just sunlight, but the glow from your tablet, TV, or even that cozy lamp by your chair. Blue light from screens tricks your brain into thinking it's daytime, slamming the brakes on melatonin production. But even warm tone lights can disrupt your rhythm if they're too bright after dusk. The fix? Dim the lights an hour before bed and swap late-night scrolling for a paperback book or relaxing hobby like knitting. If you must use a device, try blue light blocking glasses. They're like night lights for your eyes. And here's a question I hear often. What if I like my nighttime snack? I'm not here to take away your toast and tea, but the type of snack matters. Sugary treats or refined carbs can cause blood sugar spikes and crashes, leaving you jittery or sweaty at 3 a.m. Instead, try pairing complex carbs with a little protein or healthy fat, like apple slices with almond butter or whole grain crackers with cheese. These combinations stabilize blood sugar, giving your body steady fuel through the night. Let's also tackle a sensitive subject, alcohol. That evening glass of wine might feel like a reward, a way to unwind. And yes, it can help you fall asleep faster. But here's the catch. Alcohol fragments your sleep cycles, pulling you out of deep sleep and into lighter stages. You might drift off easily, only to wake up restless hours later. If cutting back feels daunting, try smaller steps. Swap every other drink for sparkling water with lime, or shift your nightcap to earlier in the evening. It's not about deprivation. It's about giving your body the quality rest it deserves. Now, let's circle back to movement. You probably heard, exercise improves sleep. But if creaky joints or fatigue make a daily walk feel impossible, that advice can sound hollow. The key? Think movement, not exercise. Even 5 minutes of gentle chair yoga or leg lifts while watching TV can boost circulation and reduce stiffness. And timing matters. Aim to finish any vigorous activity at least 3 hours before bed. Your body needs time to wind down, like letting a pot of soup simmer after you stirred it. Lastly, let's address the stories we tell ourselves. When you wake up at 3 a.m., do you groan, "Here we go again, tomorrow will be ruined"? That frustration can become a self-fulfilling prophecy, keeping your stress hormones elevated. Try reframing the moment. This is my body's way of asking for a little care. Instead of fighting the wakefulness, lean into it. Get up for 10 minutes. Sip a cup of caffeine-free herbal tea, chamomile, or valerian root are great options. Or listen to a calming podcast in low light. Sometimes, surrendering to the wakefulness, just for a short while, helps your body reset. Remember, friends, sleep isn't a test to pass or a prize to win. It's a rhythm, a dance between your body and the world around you. And every small step you take, whether it's adjusting a habit, trying a new breathing technique, or simply offering yourself grace, is a victory. So tonight, if you find yourself awake at 3 a.m., know this: you're not failing. You're learning. You're adapting. And with each gentle adjustment, you're reclaiming your nights, one quiet moment at a time. Let's circle back to something we've all wondered at 3 a.m. Asterisk. Is this normal, or is something really wrong? Asterisk, it's a question that can spiral into worry. So let's clear the air. Occasional wake-ups are part of being human. But if you're consistently struggling to fall back asleep, it's worth exploring whether an underlying health condition might be whispering in the background. Take sleep apnea, for example, a common but often overlooked issue where breathing stops and starts during the night. It doesn't always announce itself with loud snoring. Sometimes it's just a gasp or a choke that jolts you awake, leaving you exhausted by morning. If your partners mention you stop breathing, or you wake up with a dry mouth or headache, a chat with your doctor could open the door to solutions like a CPAP machine or positional therapy. Think of it as giving your body the airflow it's been craving. Then there's the heart of the matter, literally. Heart health and sleep are deeply connected. Conditions like atrial fibrillation or even high blood pressure can stir you awake as your body senses something's off-kilter. Now, I'm not saying every 3 a.m. wake-up is a heart issue, but if you're also noticing shortness of breath, dizziness, or unusual swelling, it's a nudge to get things checked. Knowledge isn't scary, it's power. And catching something early? That's one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves as we age. But let's shift gears to something brighter. The role of joy. Yes, joy. Have you ever noticed how a day filled with purpose or laughter often leads to deeper sleep? Engaging in activities that light you up, whether it's painting, volunteering, or sharing stories with grandchildren, can soothe your nervous system in ways that transcend sleep hygiene. It's like your soul sighs, "Today was worth it," making it easier to surrender to rest. So if your nights feel restless, ask yourself, asterisk, when did I last do something purely for the joy of it? Asterisk, sometimes. The path to better sleep starts at sunrise, not sunset. Now, let's talk about nature's helpers, herbs and supplements that have been used for centuries to calm the mind. Valerian root chamomile and magnesium are popular choices, but here's the key. They're not magic pills. Think of them as gentle allies, not cures. A cup of passion flower tea or a magnesium-rich snack like pumpkin seeds before bed can take the edge off, but they work best when paired with the habits we discussed, like dimming lights or managing stress. And always check with your doctor first, especially if you're on medications. Your safety is a priority. Speaking of rhythm, let's revisit routines, but with a twist. Consistency matters, yes, but rigidity can backfire. If you're forcing yourself to bed at 9 p.m. because you should, but you're lying there tense, it's okay to bend the rules. Maybe your ideal rhythm is a 10 p.m. bedtime with a 6 a.m. sunrise walk. Listen to your body's cues, not the clock. And if you had a late night, resist the urge to catch up on sleep. Trust that your body will balance itself out. It's wiser than we give it credit for. Now, let's address a quiet truth, grief. Loss accumulates as we age. The passing of loved ones, shifts in identity, or even mourning the energy we once had. Grief doesn't punch a time clock. It can surface in the stillness of night. If you're lying awake with a heavy heart, try this. Place a hand over your chest and whisper, asterisk, this is hard and I'm here. Asterisk healing isn't about fixing sadness. It's about making space for it. Consider joining a support group or talking to a counselor, not because you're broken, but because your heart deserves a witness. And let's not forget the power of good enough. In a world obsessed with optimizing sleep, sometimes striving for perfection becomes the enemy of peace. If you slept 4 hours instead of 8, acknowledge the victory in those 4. Celebrate the moments you did drift off, rather than tallying the ones you didn't. Resilience isn't about bouncing back. It's about bending without breaking, knowing that tomorrow is a fresh start. As we wrap up, let's tie it all together. Those 3 a.m. wake-ups, they're not a sign of failure. They're an invitation to listen, to adapt, to care for yourself in deeper ways. Whether it's adjusting your evening routine, finding joy in small moments, or seeking support when needed, every step you take is a testament to your strength. Aging isn't about clinging to how things used to be. It's about writing a new story, one where you're the compassionate author. So tonight, if you find yourself awake again, try something radical. Thank your body. Thank it for carrying you through decades of life, for whispering its needs, for showing up even when it's tired. Then cozy back under the covers, breathe deeply, and trust that rest will come, not because you've earned it, but because you're human and rest is your birthright. Before we go, I'd love to hear from you. Have you discovered a trick that helps you sleep? Or maybe you found peace in those quiet nighttime hours. Share your wisdom in the comments. Your story might be the lifeline someone else needs. And if this resonated with you, pass along to a friend or hit that like button. Together, we're building a community that celebrates aging with grace, grit, and a whole lot of heart. Thank you for trusting me with your nights and your journey. Until next time, remember, every sunrise is a reminder that you've made it through the dark. Here's to your health, your peace, and the quiet power of a life well lived.